They say time is money, but that's not true anymore. Today, attention is money. Your focus, the few seconds of stillness your brain can hold before you reach for your phone, has become the most valuable commodity on Earth. It's worth more than gold, more than oil, more than any resource in history. Because whoever controls attention controls behavior. And whoever controls behavior controls profit. Every ping, every scroll, every recommended for you is part of a billion-dollar psychological system engineered to keep you hooked. Not because you're weak, but because the system is perfectly designed to exploit how your brain works. You're not lazy. You're monetized. The hidden marketplace for your mind. When you open your phone, you're entering the most competitive marketplace in the world. But you're not the buyer. You're the product. Every platform you use, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, is fighting for one thing, your attention span. And they've gotten really good at it. They study your patterns, your pauses, your curiosity, your insecurities, then feed it all into algorithms that predict exactly what will keep you scrolling. Every second you stay means more data, more ads, more revenue. That's why videos autoplay. That's why notifications never end. That's why infinite scroll exists. The product isn't content, it's you. You think you're consuming entertainment, but you're being consumed for profit. The science of hijacking your focus. Your brain runs on dopamine, the molecule of anticipation, motivation, reward. It's what pushes you to explore, learn, and seek novelty. In nature, dopamine was a survival mechanism. It made you look for food, mates, safety. In the attention economy, it's been weaponized against you. Every like, every notification, every new video triggers a microdose of dopamine. A maybe this will be better hit. A slot machine for your mind. You open your phone for one thing and 30 minutes disappear. That's not random. That's operant conditioning. The same mechanism casinos use to keep gamblers at the slot machine for hours. Variable reward systems, unpredictable outcomes, are the most addictive form of feedback ever discovered. And social media is one giant variable reward system. You don't know when your next hit of validation or entertainment is coming, so you keep pulling the lever. The platform wins. Your focus loses. The fragmentation of the modern mind. The average person now switches tasks every 47 seconds. That's not multitasking, that's mental fragmentation. We've trained our brains to crave microstimulation. And like any addiction, the tolerance keeps rising. What used to hold your attention for 10 minutes now feels long. A podcast episode feels too slow. A YouTube video without jump cuts feels boring. Even silence feels uncomfortable. You're not losing attention. Your attention is being stolen in tiny, invisible transactions. Every time you switch apps, you pay a tax, a cognitive switching cost. It drains your focus, your willpower, and your ability to think deeply. That's why it's so hard to read, to sit still, or to just be alone with your thoughts. Your mind has been conditioned to expect stimulation every few seconds, and without it, it panics. The scariest part? You don't even realize it's happening. Because distraction doesn't feel like chaos anymore, it feels like normal life. The economy of outrage and fear. Now imagine every platform competing for your attention. What's the easiest way to keep someone's focus? Emotion. Specifically, fear, anger, and outrage. Your brain evolved to prioritize threats, so anything that triggers negative emotion gets a free pass to the front of your mind. That's why bad news spreads faster than good news. Why you can't look away from conflict online. Why outrage culture exists. Anger, controversy, fear, they're not bugs of the system. They're features. They increase watch time. They keep you scrolling, arguing, sharing, posting. And each emotional reaction, every spike of cortisol, every flash of anger, translates into ad revenue. The attention economy doesn't just sell your focus, it sells your emotional energy. You think you're expressing yourself online, but most of the time you're being played. The cost of a distracted life. When your attention is constantly scattered, your sense of self starts to erode. Because your focus is your life. Where your attention goes, your identity follows. If your attention is hijacked by endless feeds, your life becomes fragmented, a collage of other people's ideas, desires, and opinions. And here's the dark truth. You can't create meaning while constantly consuming stimulation. Creativity, insight, self-awareness, all of it requires boredom, silence, and focus. But those are the exact states the modern world has eliminated. That's why you feel busy but empty, overstimulated but underfulfilled, always on yet never really alive. Your brain wasn't built for 10,000 competing signals per minute. It was built for presence. But presence doesn't generate profit, so it's being slowly deleted from your daily life. The rebellion of focus. Here's the truth they won't tell you. In a distracted world, focus is a superpower. If everyone around you is overstimulated, the person who can still think deeply wins. Focus becomes leverage. Stillness becomes clarity. And clarity becomes power. That's why some of the most successful people in the world guard their focus like gold. Because it is gold, the rarest currency left. They don't check every notification. They don't scroll endlessly. They design environments that protect their attention like it's sacred. Because it is. Every moment you reclaim from distraction, you're buying back a piece of yourself. And that's a trade worth more than any paycheck. How to reclaim your attention. You can't delete the attention economy, but you can opt out of being its product. Create intentional friction. Make distraction harder to access. Turn off notifications. Remove apps from your home screen. Force a 10-second pause before opening anything. That small delay resets your awareness. It brings back choice. Rebuild your attention stamina. Set aside 20 minutes a day for single-task focus. No music. No phone. No tabs. Just one thing: reading, thinking, writing, silence. You'll hate it at first. That's withdrawal. But with time, the craving for stimulation fades, and your baseline peace starts to return. Redefine what productive means. Productivity isn't about constant output, it's about deliberate energy use. Doing one meaningful thing with full focus beats a dozen distracted half-efforts. And here's the secret: once your brain relearns depth, dopamine hits differently. Instead of chasing 1,000 small highs, you start to feel a steady sense of calm control. That's the real dopamine detox. Protect your mental inputs. Unfollow chaos. Mute noise. Curate what you consume like you curate your diet. What you feed your mind becomes who you are. The more intentional your inputs, the sharper your thinking becomes. The true wealth of the 21st century. Attention is the root of everything. Your work, your relationships, your ideas, your peace. Lose control of it, and you lose control of your life. But when you own it, when you can direct your focus consciously, you become untouchable. Because in a world addicted to distraction, the person who can stay still, who can think clearly, who can choose what to care about, is free. Your focus is your freedom. Your presence is your power. Don't spend it cheaply. Invest it wisely. Because attention, not money, is the real currency of modern life. And the people who understand that aren't just getting richer, they're becoming awake.